Emperor Cassandra's half-brother Ariel IV assumed the throne of the Empire of Tamriel. It will be recalled that Ariel IV was not a citizen by birth. His mother, though she reigned as empress for many years, was a dark elf, married to a true Septim Emperor. Fuck this fucking guy's name again. Pelagius III. Ariel's father was actually Katira the first, consort after Pelagius' death. Pelagius' death, a Breton nobleman named Galavia Lariac, before taking the throne of the Empire, Cassadia the First had ruled the kingdom of Wavis, but poor health had forced him to retire, and Cassadia had no children, so he legally adopted his half-brother. That's kind of odd and interesting, I suppose. Adopting a half-brother. Anyways, Ariel and almost out the book. Ariel and abdicated the kingdom. 7 years later, Cassandia inherited the empire at the death of his mother. 3 years after that, Ariel once again found himself the recipient of Cassandia's inheritance. Ariel the Fourth's reign was a long and difficult one. Despite being a legally adopted member of the Septim family, and despite the Livia family's high position, indeed they were distant cousins of the Septims, few of the elder council would be persuaded to accept and fully as blood descendant of Tiber. The council had assumed much responsibility during Tiberius the First's long reign, and Cassandia's first short one, and the strong-willed alien monarch like Ariel the Fourth found it impossible to command the unserving fealty unswerving. Oh yeah, I was right. Unswerving fealty. Wow, I suck. Time and again, the council and the emperor were at odds, and time and again, the council won the battle since the days of Pelagius II. The elder council had considered of the wealthiest men and women in the empire, and the power they wielded was conclusive. The council's last victory over Ariel IV was posthumous. Enderock, Ariel IV's son, was disinherited by a vote of the council, and the cousin more closely related to the original Septim line was proclaimed. Sepphoris II, in 3E247. What were douchebags? For the first 9 years, as Sepphoris II reigned, those loyal to Enderock battled in the imperial forces and acted at the siege. Why is so much fucking battle, dude? Can these people ever get along? The sage of Edatane, called Titus Septim's heart, beating no more. The council granted Enderock the High Rock Kingdom. A sworn helm to the end of the war, and Enderock's descendants still rule there. Yeah, seriously, why can't these people ever get along? By and large, Severus II had foes that demanded more of his attention than the Rock. Out of the oh I wonder if we're gonna ever get to the I wonder if we're gonna ever get to the invasion of Akavir. From out of the Sumerian nightmare, in the words of e- everything in time, every time, a man who called himself like a Mormon usurper, became Mormon usurper, led an army of danger and undead warriors on a rampage through Valenwood, conquering kingdom after kingdom. Few could resist his onslaught, and as month turned to bloody month in the year of 3E 249, even if few tried, Severus II sent more and more mercenaries to Hammerfell to stop the usurpers' northward march, but they were bribed or slaughtered and raised as undead. That's what yo. The story of the Cameron usurper deserves a book of its own, as recommended to the reader from Palix's Ethers, The Fall of the Usurper, for more detail. In short, however, the destruction of the forces of the usurper had little to do with the efforts of the emperor. The result was a great regional victory, and an increase in hostility toward the seemingly and fascist empire. Ariel V, Severus' second son and successor, swiveled opinion back toward the latent power of the empire, turning the attention of Tamiel away from internal strife. Ariel V embarked on a series of invasions, beginning almost from the moment he took the throne in 3E 268. I couldn't. Ariel V conquered Boskri in 271. Kathnokwe in 276. These fucking names. Yensley in 279. And Esranate in 284. Did I say any of those right? I fucking doubt it. And 3E288, he embarked on his most ambitious enterprise, the invasion of the continent kingdom of Akavir. Here we go. Though ultimately proved a failure, for 2 years later, Ariel V was killed in Akavir in a battle of Ionith. Nevertheless, Ariel V holds the reputation second only Titan as one of the two Green Warrior Emperors of Tamiel. I believe he got killed by the Snake people. I believe so. I could be wrong, but I think that was him who got killed by snake people. We are in part 4 now. And this page has a really cool picture of Imperial City from Oblivion. And even the art design is from Oblivion as well, at least in the style of Oblivion, which is pretty cool. I like that. Um, the Red Ring Road, which is basically the road that goes the rest around the Imperial City, outside of it, and Lake Remare, which is the lake that surrounds the Imperial City. And here we can see where our character, the champion Cyrodiil, leaves the dungeon, well, the prison sewers, and yeah, it's pretty cool, pretty cool. I like that little map. Um, I wouldn't mind though if book 2 had the map for Cyrodiil and book 3 had Runninfell. I think that would have been pretty cool. But they all at the beginning have the map for Skyrim, which I don't mind. You know, it is called the Skyrim Library after all, so it's whatever. But it would have been really cool if they at least had that going on. But no complaints. Still a really awesome book. I love this shit. So what's next? So part 4 of the history. Maybe I won't finish this whole thing tonight. Maybe maybe like a 2-part thing, you know. There's a lot more to go. Like I'm only on page 13. The first book of this series described the brief and first 8 emperors of the Centum dynasty, beginning with Tiber I. The second volume described the War of the Red Diamond, and the 6 emperors to follow. The third volume described the troubles of the next 3 emperors. The frustrated Ariel IV, the ineffectual Severus II, and the heroic Ariel V. On Ariel's fifth death, across the sea in distant, hostile Arcadia, Ariel VI was but 5 years old. In fact, Ariel VI was born only shortly after his father left for Arcadia. Ariel V, only other protege by a Morgan Morgantic Morgantic Morganatic alliance when the twins, god fucking damn it. Morihata and Eloisa. I'll say that, I guess. Who had been born a month after Ariel V left. Ariel VI was crowned in the year 290th year of the Third Era. The imperial consort, Annika, as the boy's mother, was given a restricted regency until Ariel VI reaches majority. The elder council retained the real power as ever since the days of Tiber I. The council so enjoyed